So y'all know how comedians will talk about how Dr. King Street or Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard is always in the hood, how it's always in a rundown neighborhood, and it's always a laughing matter. I was thinking about that recently and realized, not realized, but situated in the fact that Dr. King loved him some us. Dr. King loved him some black people, y'all. We were his people for real, not for fake. He loved us for real, not for fake. He didn't love people who happened to be black like a lot of y'all. He loved black people for real, and he loved po black people. And so I was thinking how Dr. King wouldn't want his street to be anywhere else but where the hood resides.
Our society has placed a stigma on the Negro's color. And you know there are some Negroes who are ashamed of themselves, but don't be ashamed of your color. Don't be ashamed of your biological features. Somehow you must be able to say in your own lives and really believe it, I am black but beautiful. And believe it in your heart.
I also did a video on the history of black humor, particularly the lineage that's rooted in the dozens, and put a call to the comedians to not have the punchline rooted in anti-blackness. So definitely go check out that video, my people. We have been engaging in behaviors and practices that are harmful, and it's like self-sabotage and cultural sabotage. Dr. King would not approve. Oh, another thing. I remember while I was at Spelman being called to be more critical of the media that we consume. So I was in a class called The Images of Women in Media. And it brought to our attention these party flyers. Around Dr. King Day, party promoters will use Dr. King's image. They will exploit and pimp him out just to promote a party. And it's the most gross way of engaging with our historical figures that communicates that we don't respect them.
Remembering one of the greatest civil rights leaders to ever grace the earth. Atlanta Restaurant was commemorating it too, in an ignorant way. And they've been slammed now for an offensive MLK Rosa Parks flyer. Who approved this? And wasn't anyone else there to say, you might want to dial it back, player? Ethiopian restaurant just outside of Atlanta has distanced itself from a flyer commemorating the upcoming Martin Luther King Jr. holiday by disrespecting this martyred hero and another iconic civil rights figure with a digitally altered image that could result in serious legal issues for the flyer's creator. The image showing King and Rosa Parks dressed in revealing modern outfits while apparently engaged in a sex act. Again, I ask, who did this? Crudely captioned,
I am so glad that our beloved Bernice King, one of the daughters of Dr. Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King, called out the op, Sexy Red, for her deplorable shock value of just what she did. I don't even really want to give it too much attention. But by her calling out, I think it sets a standard where I'm hoping that other people who use the image of historical figures for profit or to promote debauchery or just like things that undermine the dignity and respect of these historical figures and how they represented themselves, I'm hoping that that is a new standard where we no longer tolerate that type of disrespect simply because it's coming from us. Because by definition, in our community, that's called selling out. And I know, her PR team had her apologize, but she knew. She a member of the Black American community, even though she's an ignorante, right? And is clearly an op and has no morals or standards or values or principles and is not, doesn't care about Black community. Like, right, we know she don't love Black people. Like Dr. King loved Black people. There should be a line where we're like, even the most scoundrel of us wouldn't even cross. And that used to be a thing. So I'm hoping that that is coming back. But yeah, Dr. King loved him some us. And so we have to do our due diligence and loving a brother back. A way of doing that is familiarizing yourself with his work, not the lazy, watered down, whitewashed version, because they will have you believing that he was a pacifist and the nonviolence policy was because he didn't want to hurt white people. None of that it's not true, y'all. I'm saying his name, but Ella Baker, like there are so many people who contributed to this work. I'm just zeroing in on Dr. King because it is often his image that is pimped out and exploited by us to promote a party. The things that we need to be critiquing, we celebrate, and the things we need to be celebrate, we critique. Do what Dr. King did and love you some black people for real, not for fake.
I'm tired of marching. Tired of marching for something that should have been mine at birth. I don't mind saying to you tonight. Abused and scorned though we may be, our destiny is tied up in the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here. Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here. And for more than 2 centuries, our forebears labored here without wages. They made cotton king. They built the homes of their masters. And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.